Hi everyone. Well, we made it home. This is my front door. We are back in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's been a long 2 weeks. We've been out of sorts for quite some time, so I'm so glad to be home. Getting ready to go inside, take a shower, and watch a new series that we've just started watching. I don't even really know the name of it, but anyway, just unplug and relax for a little bit. But I wanted to pop on tonight. I'm Robin Shea. This is day 15 of Before the Fork, the 28-day experience. And so for those of y'all that are actually following in the group, in the discussion group, you probably saw my post today full of frustration. And I really was very frustrated. Fortunately, I have an understanding husband, and he made several stops for me so that I could actually find something to eat. So let's look at the circumstances surrounding what happened today. One, I was tired. We've been traveling for almost 2 weeks and I'm pretty depleted. Been out of sorts. I've done really well, but I've been out of sorts for a while. So that's one. Two, we're road tripping, which was no problem when we left on Thursday. I believe we left on Thursday. I don't even know, my days are going together, because I was well equipped. I had my bag, I had all of our snacks packed, but as time goes on, that supply got depleted. We were running between work and the wedding. I just didn't have time to go to the grocery store. I didn't make time. I had time. I didn't make time. And replenish our supplies. So when I got hungry today and tired, I was going to drive. Greg was going to rest a little while. So we pulled over to try to find something to eat, and we went to 3 different fast foods. And probably because I was tired, I was frustrated, I was ready to be home. There was nothing on the menu that fell within the guidelines of my slow carb. So I was incredibly irritated. And it just got me to thinking about how deeply and how systemically this problem runs through America. I can't speak to other countries. I don't live in other countries. I live right here. And because I have the education that I have, because I have the nutritional knowledge that I have, the lack of nutrition is something I can't overlook. As much as I would love to plead ignorance, I simply have too much knowledge to plead ignorance. So when I go through these fast food lines, which is rare, but I was just, starting to rain. Need to get back up on my porch. It's rare that I would go through a fast food line, but then to go through the fast food line today and to be greeted with 0 options that are suitable. For someone that is truly health conscious and has just enough knowledge to know that I can't be buffaloed by, nutritional phrasing or flowery words. I know what I know and I can't unknow it. So my husband finally went to kind of an expanded gas station kind of thing with a larger little food section, and I was able to get some pistachios and some pecans and so made do. A couple bottles of water, filled up on water. So right now I've got a lot of salt running through me. And anyway, I guess the message tonight is you're the only one that is going to care enough to learn what you need to learn to make this journey successful for yourself. If you rely on Big Brother, if you rely on the fast food institutions and their flowery wording to provide you what you need in your nutritional journey, it's irresponsible of you. It's irresponsible of them first and foremost, but they're not ultimately responsible for your health. So where I was targeting my frustration today was at the fast food institutions that we stopped at. But truly, I should have made time to replenish my supplies so that I didn't face this obstacle to begin with. Our message this morning, when I was fresh and exuberant and ready to tackle the day, my message was about time. And I overlooked carving out time to replenish my cooler in the car, and it winded up being a situation that I was very vulnerable to. It put me in a very bad mood. My husband went ahead and made some nutritional choices at the fast food restaurant that I was less than thrilled with. And I'm not his gatekeeper. I'm not his judge and jury. He's free to do what he wants with his nutrition. I hope that he makes better choices, but I understand that he was depleted too. He was ready to be home. We've both been on the go and going hard for a long time. So anyway, it was just the perfect storm. It was the perfect storm to come up empty and to make a choice that didn't serve me. I weathered the storm, but it took entirely too much of my mental aptitude, my mental energy. It, like I said, it put me in a bad mood. It made me lash out on Facebook because I was frustrated. I would just love to be able to pull into a fast food restaurant when you're in a bind and be able to trust that what I'm ordering on the menu hasn't been bathed in chemicals to prolong its shelf life, or that the wording of the items appear to be healthy, but they have 62 grams of sugar in them, because I always cross-reference what I'm ordering at the fast food drive-in with the nutritional information that they have to provide. They must provide that. So if I either ask for it at the window or I Google it before I get there, pull up their nutritional guidelines, and I can look and see what is in that item. Obviously, the preservatives, the flavor enhancers, the food coloring, the dyes, the shelf stabilizers, all of that is stuff that I don't allow in my diet. So the message tonight is we must take personal responsibility for our health and fitness. We must be the gatekeepers of our health. We can't rely on any of the fast foods to provide for us what we need. I knew that it was going to be a struggle finding something to eat on the way home. It was a 12-hour drive, and I knew that we would want to stop and get something to eat. I should have taken care of that. I should have made sure that my cooler had things in it that I was comfortable. It would have taken an extra 30 minutes out of my morning to safeguard myself from an extremely frustrating situation. I didn't take that time, and here I touted about it. This morning's message was about time, and I overlooked a critical component in getting home. And that was making sure that Greg and I had food that I felt good about us eating, that would leave us feeling invigorated tomorrow and not drained. Now, as it is, I've got a lot of, I can feel it in my hands right now, a lot of excess salt from the nuts. The pistachios had salt in them. The pecans didn't have salt, but the pistachios did. Anyway, I'm beating myself up a little. I'm a little worn out, a little tired, a little irritated. And disappointed. I'm actually a little disappointed. I'm disappointed that we haven't come any further than we have in America, in our fast food, something that we strongly lean into, both as individuals and as families, to feed our children. And as like I say, I don't go to fast food. I probably drive through a fast food maybe once a year, and I go through Sonic and I bring my husband and my sons those large iced teas when they're working outside. So I'm unaware of what the fast food menus are, and today it was just hit me right in the face that we're no further along today than we were 15 years ago when I started this journey and was brought to my knees by the lack of nutrition surrounding my own family. So it left me today with a strong, strong sense of there's more that I can do. There's more that I can do to bring awareness to this impending crisis of obesity, diabetes, obese children, compromised existence. And when people think that talking about obesity is a judgment against people that are overweight, and it absolutely is not a judgment. If this wasn't my realm, if this wasn't my domain, if nutrition and eating healthy wasn't my calling and my heart that God placed in me, I would be one of those victims of the fast food. I would be one of those people that maybe I didn't have a lot of interest in it, and so I believed in all the hyperbole around the advertising. So it's not a judgment against anyone that has fallen victim to the fast food industry, the food industry on a whole. What crushes me and what breaks my heart is to see young children, to see young adults, to see people in their 40s and 50s struggling with daily tasks, feeling too overwhelmed to ride a bike or go for a walk. Because if you're someone that struggles with weight, you know that when you're carrying an extra 10, 15 pounds, the simplest tasks become very efforted. Tying your shoes, walking to the mailbox when you're sluggish with carbohydrate toxicity, and you have those sugars and your joints are aching because you have too much sugar coursing through your body, the flavor enhancers, everything else that messes with your endocrine system and makes everything that you do have to be done with more effort. And I see these small children falling victim to that very toxicity. And I see people in their 50s and in their 60s that should be relishing in that phase of their lives, but because the nutrition is not something that because it's so backwards in this country, they're living those years of their life in such compromised health. It destroys me inside. It makes me so sad. Hi, Teresa. I am preaching it because it just kills me to know that these babies, these 7, 8, 10-year-olds, they should be jumping and running and they can't. And I don't understand it. So, do your homework. Take time to invest in the knowledge, because you're the only one that will stop these patterns. You've got little bitty people that want to live a fulfilled life, and the only thing stopping them is how they feel. And they only feel the way that they feel because they're poisoned with so much sugar. So, love you, Lindsay. So, to go to the effort, it's worth it. I'm getting ready to be 52, and I'll be damned if I'm not going to preach this the rest of my life. People deserve to live and feel good. And if our government is not going to put parameters around what can be offered to us, then we as the parents, we as the cornerstones of our communities, we've got to expect more from ourselves, more from our school systems, more from parenting of our children, other children that come into our home. Step your bar up, raise your bar, because this is the time in your life that you're supposed to feel your best, look your best, glow with the health that only comes when you're nourishing your body from the inside out. I don't give 2 cents about the pumped muscles, the ripped abs. That is so temporary. You tell me any 70-year-old woman out there swimming, biking, and playing with her grandchildren gives a hoot in hell about showing off her 6-pack abs. She doesn't, but she is treasuring every second that she gets to spend with those babies. So, okay, I'm gonna go take my shower, and I'm going to clean up, and I'm gonna rest for a good solid 12 hours. And I will be back with y'all tomorrow morning with a brighter, happier message. Until then, I love you all. Sorry for my soapbox. It's been a long couple of days, but do as good as you can. That's all we can expect. And you know what? Pull your money out of those places that do not respect us enough to provide us with real options and not just flowery language built around empty promises and toxic ingredients. Y'all have a good night. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.